What does it take to become a legend in the world of mixed martial arts? As you explore the sport's rich history, one name that undeniably shines is Randy Couture. His incredible career in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC, is a powerful story of skill, determination, and the kind of longevity that is rare in a sport where many careers are often cut short. Known affectionately as the Natural, Couture embodied the essence of adaptability and innate talent in the octagon. From his debut in 1997 to his retirement in 2011, his journey not only reshaped the landscape of mixed martial arts, but also inspired countless fighters who followed in his footsteps. Randy Couture's journey to MMA stardom began on the wrestling mats. A decorated amateur wrestler, Couture honed his skills through years of intense training and competition. He wrestled for Oklahoma State University, earning All-American honors 3 times and securing runner-up finishes at the NCAA Division I championships in 1991 and 1992. These early accomplishments laid the foundation for his future success in the octagon. Following his collegiate wrestling career, Couture's competitive spirit led him to explore new challenges. In 1997, at the age of 33, he made his professional MMA debut at UFC 13. Despite being a relative newcomer to the sport, Couture's wrestling prowess and natural athleticism quickly set him apart from his peers. His ability to adapt his grappling skills to the multifaceted world of MMA proved to be a game-changer. Couture's impact on the UFC was immediate and profound. In just his second professional fight, he claimed the UFC Heavyweight Championship by defeating Maurice Smith. This victory marked the beginning of a legendary career that would span multiple weight classes and establish Couture as one of the most respected figures in MMA history. His rapid rise to the top of the sport demonstrated not only his physical abilities, but also his strategic mind and unwavering determination. Randy Couture's ascent to the top of the UFC heavyweight division marked a pivotal moment in mixed martial arts history. His journey to the championship began with a stunning upset victory over Maurice Smith at UFC Japan in 1997, showcasing Couture's exceptional wrestling skills and strategic prowess. Let's dive into one of Randy Couture's most memorable fights, the upset victory that marked his arrival as a UFC heavyweight to watch. Going up against Maurice Smith, a striker known for his powerful stand-up game, Couture had a clear game plan: to dominate the fight on the ground. Using his Greco-Roman wrestling skills, Couture neutralized Smith's striking, keeping him on the mat and steadily wearing him down as the rounds progressed. It was a textbook example of strategy, showing how Couture's wrestling background could take down even the most dangerous strikers. By the end of the bout, Couture emerged not only as the heavyweight champion, but as a serious force in the UFC, a fighter with the potential to shake up the entire division. After claiming the heavyweight crown, Couture's next challenge came quickly. In his first title defense, he faced Tony Holm at UFC 13. This fight was short but decisive, a showcase of Couture's growing skill in the octagon. Wasting no time, he used his grappling to secure a submission win in the very first round. With that victory, Couture's reputation was officially on the rise. He was proving himself to be a fighter with more than just brute strength. He was tactical, efficient, and able to use his wrestling to dominate opponents from the very start. This early stint as heavyweight champion was only the beginning. Couture's wrestling expertise, sharp strategy, and exceptional conditioning would come to define him, and these qualities earned him a fitting nickname: the Natural. Randy Couture's journey in the UFC was nothing short of remarkable, filled with high-stakes battles and relentless comebacks. His path wasn't easy, though. In 2002, after losing his heavyweight title to Josh Barnett, Couture hit a rough patch that would test his willpower and character to the core. But if anyone could come back swinging, it was the Natural. Couture's sheer ability to rise after each fall was almost as famous as his fights. Instead of giving in to discouragement, Couture took this setback as fuel to improve. He turned inward, digging deep into his roots in wrestling, training with even more intensity, and analyzing every inch of his previous performances. Through countless hours in the gym, he honed his weaknesses, sharpening both his striking and ground game. This wasn't just about fixing mistakes. It was about refining every aspect of his style. In those grueling sessions, Couture rediscovered his edge, and his determination to reclaim the title grew stronger. And then came his unforgettable return to the top in 2003, facing Tim Sylvia at UFC 68. That fight didn't just mark a victory, it was a masterpiece of skill and strategy. From the opening bell, Couture outmaneuvered Sylvia, showing that he was back and better than ever. He dominated the fight for 5 rounds, outclassing Sylvia to win a unanimous decision. And, once again, the heavyweight title. It was a triumph of resilience and intelligence, proving Couture's ability to adapt and evolve as a fighter, no matter the odds. In 2003, Randy Couture made a choice that would forever change the course of his UFC career. He decided to drop down to the light heavyweight division. This wasn't just a simple weight cut. It was a pivotal decision in the career of a fighter who was already legendary. By dropping to 205 pounds, Couture reignited his competitive spirit and set himself up for an unprecedented achievement that no one in the UFC had yet accomplished. At 40 years old, Couture's choice to fight at a lighter weight wasn't made on a whim. He knew that to stay at the top of his game, he needed to adapt his fighting style. Cutting down to light heavyweight allowed him to take advantage of his incredible wrestling skills and go up against lighter, potentially faster opponents. This move wasn't without risk, but it showed just how strategic Couture was, constantly evolving to meet the demands of a sport that only gets tougher. His debut fight at 205 pounds came at UFC 43, where he went up against the dangerous Chuck Liddell for the interim title. Liddell was the favorite going in, but Couture had a game plan that showcased his well-rounded skills. Using his superior wrestling and relentless ground and pound, he took control of the fight, ultimately earning a TKO victory in the 3rd round. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. Couture had come down to light heavyweight and taken out one of the division's top fighters, proving that he was a force to be reckoned with in any weight class. But he wasn't finished yet. In his next fight at UFC 44, Couture took on Tito Ortiz in a bout to unify the light heavyweight title. Winning this fight made Couture the first fighter in UFC history to hold titles in 2 different divisions. It was the ultimate proof of his versatility and skill, cementing his legacy as one of the most adaptable and strategically minded fighters in MMA history. Randy Couture's career in the UFC is legendary, and for good reason. His rivalries, especially with Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz, were intense showdowns that not only defined Couture's legacy, but also pushed the popularity of mixed martial arts to new levels. One of the most unforgettable rivalries in UFC history was Couture's trilogy with Chuck the Iceman Liddell. Their first clash at UFC 43 saw Couture claim victory, seizing the interim light heavyweight title in an upset that had fans buzzing. But the story was far from over. In their second meeting at UFC 52, Liddell came back with a vengeance, knocking Couture out in a moment that left fans stunned. Their third bout, the rubber match at UFC 57, further solidified Liddell's dominance, but this rivalry carved a permanent place in the annals of MMA history. Couture versus Liddell wasn't just about wins and losses. It became a saga that showcased the sheer intensity and drama of the sport. And then there was the showdown with Tito Ortiz, the Huntington Beach bad boy. While it didn't turn into a long-standing series like the Liddell rivalry, Couture's fight with Ortiz at UFC 44 was just as significant. Stepping into the octagon with Ortiz, a younger and formidable opponent, Couture delivered a tactical masterclass. With remarkable precision, he dismantled Ortiz's defenses and unified the light heavyweight title, earning himself the nickname The Natural. This victory proved Couture's ability to adapt, evolve, and conquer, even when the odds seemed stacked against him. These rivalries not only tested Couture's resilience and skill, but also played a huge part in elevating the UFC into the mainstream. Fans were captivated by the high stakes and personal intensity of these bouts, and Couture became a key figure in bringing MMA into the spotlight, helping it grow into the global sport it is today. As you reflect on Randy Couture's legendary UFC career, it's clear his impact on mixed martial arts will endure for generations. His unprecedented success across multiple weight classes, relentless work ethic, and strategic brilliance inside the octagon set a new standard for fighters. Beyond his athletic achievements, Couture's leadership and advocacy helped elevate the UFC to mainstream prominence. While his fighting days may be over, His legacy as one of the most influential and respected figures in MMA history is secure. Randy Couture didn't just compete in the UFC, he fundamentally shaped its evolution and inspired countless others to pursue excellence in this demanding sport. That's it for today. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe.